Welcome to the SwitchGrocery show. Hi, David. Hi, Greg. Hi. It's so great to see you. It's good to see you. This is amazing. Live Sugar Daddies and with Sugar Daddies. I'm putting in the title on Instagram. Here we go. So, hi. So sound check. If you can hear us on Instagram, send hearts. If you can hear us on YouTube, and if you can hear us on Facebook, send us some hearts. Give us a little thumbs up. I'm so excited to have you. Amazing. Let's see. Can you hear us? Yes, we see them. Hand pink waving from Lisa. Sounds good. Amazing. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Neha from SwitchGrocery. We go live every week on Tuesday nights. Welcome to my new kitchen, newly renovated. This is the first show out of our new kitchen. Thank you. And today I have the distinct honor of interviewing David and Greg from Sugar Daddies Bakery. We have a little bit of a controversial caption on the interview. We're going to be asking them whether is spending at their bakery worth it and is eating out worth it, all of the things. And we're going to be picking their brains with a really, just some really honest, amazing questions that I came up with. So I'm going to call them honest and amazing. So if you don't know the format of the show, the first 5 minutes we spend saying hi to everybody, welcoming everybody, and then we go into our questions. I'll introduce myself because I know we're also live on the Sugar Daddies page. We run SwitchGrocery. We're an online grocery store. We find hard to find retail products, food products that you can't find in your typical grocery stores. And I really want all of our SwitchGrocery customer friends to know more about David and Greg. So David and Greg, if you don't mind doing an intro, that would be amazing. There's no shot. Okay. Yeah. Well, here we go. And okay. Oh, I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here with you. I can't even. Yes. Also the comments. Can we just see this? 3 of my favorites from Shalini Keto Babe Life. My favorite Sugar Daddies. Kelly, Flab to Fab, Woot Woot. Such a trio on here tonight. 123 Snappy. The best food and desserts. Oh, Northern Keto Mama, who's going to be at Ontario Keto Fest. She is just dropping some claps. This is amazing. We're going to have, and then we have, Lori Olson says she can't hear the boys. Interesting. Did something change? I just want to know. Did something change? Can't hear them, only you, Neha. Okay. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Bear with us. You can't. Okay, if you go to your settings, guys, like on the bottom right, just under where the screen is, and then if you click on audio, see if you have an input there. Hello? Yeah. Loud and clear. Okay, so Instagram is good. We're still working on YouTube and LinkedIn. We can do this. This will happen. And if you're just joining us, You guys, we are live with David and Greg from Sugar Daddies. They run a bakery, an online store, and a restaurant in Ontario. And today they're going to spill the beans about all of it. And then I'm also going to be telling you a really funny story of how we met, which I'm excited about. I think, did you guys, oh, just a question. Hi, Greg. They're working on it. Don't worry, they're working on it. It's all good. And then if you can keep hearing them, keep dropping hearts. I think everyone can hear you on Instagram. So are you on your great. Is your laptop mic on? You may have to disconnect Bluetooth on your laptop because your AirPods could be trying to connect through there too. If you go to your audio input, like in Restream settings, can you see, can you find the settings? It's under where you are on the screen. So it's like near the mic, the video. Hi, everyone. If you're just joining, we're live with David and Greg from Sugar Daddies. We're working out our sound. And for our YouTube and Instagram, don't worry. Oh, tuning in from our hotel in Rivière de Loup. Am I not pronouncing that right? Ooh, I may not be. There's no, okay, no problem. We got this. Do you guys have a second phone? Okay, so let's go and restream on the browser on the second phone. And let's try that. We can do this. Don't worry, guys. We got this. You're not the first. I will say that. It happens. Alternatively, I'm trying to think if we move the earpod to Bluetooth on your laptop and you still have the mic on your phone. Because if your phone mic is working. Okay, let me let you in. Let me let you in. Hold on. There's 3 people in our live now. Let's see. Sound is good here. Okay, so let me. Okay, good. So let me turn, but where's your video on your second phone? You may have to allow it. I love it. It's all good. Tech issues happen. Everyone understands. Don't worry. Lori, I appreciate you saying I can hear you, Neha, but not the boys. Also, don't you like being called boys? Because I like that. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to log back in? Because then it might say allow permission or something like that. And then we could try again. Otherwise, we'll swap AirPods into the laptop. Let's see. Yes. Thank you so much, YouTube fam, for being patient with us. An email went out, you guys, to our whole SwitchGrocery list that we're live at 8:15. And the text is going to go out in 3 minutes. Okay, great. Let me get you guys up.
Yay.
Are you in?
Yeah.
Amazing. There's a little bit of an echo. You might have to turn down the volume on your iPhone, on the second iPhone.
There, how's that?
I think it's good.
Is there an echo?
There will be an echo on my end because I think that you can't. Oh, yay, it's working. There'll be a slight echo for me because I think you can't turn down your iPhone volume fully.
Correct.
Weird.
Yeah, it'll only let us go down a little bit.
I don't understand. I'm not IT, so
That's okay. It's all good. Well, everyone is
weird.
here.
Phone on the laptop is disabled and won't let us turn it back on. So,
do you want to turn your screen this way? Maybe it'll work that way. If you, oh, it didn't. Okay, actually, hold on. Let me see this. There, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more zoomed in.
I love here. Like I can do like half sun.
it's like good.
It's amazing. Okay, everybody's here. Everybody can hear us. If you hear a little bit of echo, we are saying sorry. That's just Facebook and tech and Meta and everybody.
Yep.
Yes. Zamiha does say you have to mute the second device. We can't do that, Zamiha. So hopefully it's not too echoey. I hope so. Okay, so I think it's over to you now, officially, Greg and David, to introduce yourselves. And okay, let me just start with this question right away. You have a bakery, you have a restaurant,
yep.
you have an online store. You also sell products in retail at retailers. Are we allowed to swear?
Yes.
How the F do you do all of that? And do you actually do, like, is that's what you do? You do all of that. Let's talk about what Sugar Daddies does. Like, tell us about your locations. Tell us everything you do.
Well, Sugar Daddies started in the very, very beginning. We had a kitchen that we were renting, and we had a website, and we had various pickup locations around Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, and it legit felt like people were buying treats, right? Like they were like drug deals going down in parking lots.
Parking lots, right?
Yeah, we would have like meeting spots in parking lots, and it would be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, whatever the dates would be, prearranged. And so people would order on our Facebook site. On our Shopify site. So that's kind of how we started, and then we got our store, right?
Yep.
And started selling out of the store, and then got a phone call from a farm boy in Ottawa. I remember I was at Google at the tech hub in
Waterloo,
Kitchener.
Yeah.
And I remember texting David and say some farmer guy from Ottawa wants our products. I'm like, as if we're gonna go all the way to Ottawa to take the products. That's not happening.
No.
So then a week later, he called back again and said, "I'm thinking you don't understand who I am. I'm actually the buyer for all of Farm Boy."
Yeah, and it's just not just Ottawa; it's across the province.
It's like 34 stores.
No way.
And so I'm like, oh wow, definitely you have my attention now.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were not expecting that. We were still very, very new. So sure enough, we signed on Farm Boy. It was an experience that we've never gone through before, with trade agreements and lawyers.
It's a lot.
And
we don't have number one experience to do it on that scale.
We never expected that it was going to be that scale.
Who would have thought we need barcodes and all that can scan globally,
and license. Yeah, who knew that you had to buy a license for every barcode?
Who would have thought? Who knew how to do? You have to comply with the Canadian Food and Inspection Agency. You have to list all of the allergens, every single time. It goes to a lot of auditing, right? Yeah. So it's crazy. I just want to sell my products. I don't have this experience. It was basically a learning experience from day one. Because
Stores is definitely a whole new.
It's a whole new game.
Whole new game.
It's a whole new. It's a third job for us, because it's different. It's challenging and rewarding at the same time, especially when you see customers like posting photos and taking photos of it and like sending you, oh, I see you in Grand Band,
Right.
in which, like, Farm Boy location, like it's amazing. And then that's how Farm Boy initiated that, and then Sobeys heard of us, and then Foodland heard of us, and then that's when we became.
That was even before Sobeys and Farm Boy were the same company. That Sobeys approached us,
and
they wanted our products as well.
A year later, in 2021, they said like, "Hey, we can do across the country." I was like, "This is getting crazier and crazier." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it blew up from there.
Yeah, and then of course COVID happened.
Yeah.
So when COVID happened, David and I, as many of you know, have other jobs outside the bakery. So while we were trying to figure out, like, how do we adjust our lives to deal with COVID, we had a bakery that we had to think about with 22 staff, and we had to think about how do we lead them through all of this change as well. And so that was a very, very difficult time for us personally, right? The decisions that we were trying to make, and things were coming at us like so fast.
Right.
One of the saving graces in all of that was right back to our roots. When we had all of the locations for pickup all over the place, right? Was programmed in our, it was all programmed inside our system, but it was all turned off because we weren't delivering like that anymore. So all of a sudden, overnight, all of our delivery routes from the very grassroots of Sugar Daddies Bakery were turned back on again. And all of a sudden we were delivering across Ontario again, with a much larger volume.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, the store closed. Ottawa. The store closed, right, for
a week.
For a week, and then Farm Boy called and said, "You guys know that people are depending on your products. You can't just close. We will support you. We'll help you. We'll do whatever."
Like, you can use our facility if you want.
Yeah, they even offered our facility.
Okay, I'm gonna cry right now.
Yeah, if we needed like social distancing space, they offered like their facilities to work in, and which we didn't need, but they were extremely supportive.
Farm Boy, we love you. That's really sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Really kind. And I want to pause to just say this. Zamiha said hand-delivered baked goods at the start with handwritten notes. Just like Switch. We did that too.
With like Christmas, all that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that makes me so happy. And then Jacqueline, who is one of our sweetheart customers, said, just hearing about you, lol, and she's now, and she's in KW. This is great.
We're neighbors.
We're neighbors.
He walks away. He steps away.
So, pandemic, what happened?
So, well, when we reopened, we obviously, like the store, right? We couldn't have the store at first. So what we ended up doing was, for Mother's Day, right? We did cakes for Mother's Day, and we gave the ability for people to personalize the Mother's Day cake. Because of social distancing, you may not have been able to hang out with your mom, et cetera, et cetera. And it was an absolute crazy day, like 172, something like that. 172 orders all coming, and none of us were paying attention to the logistics on the website. Everybody wanted to pick up their cake at like lunchtime.
Right.
So we should have had maximums between 12 and 12:30, maximum 10 people.
Right.
We literally had 172 people all turn up.
It's like a drive-through of Tim Hortons on a busy morning.
We had to direct traffic in the parking lot. Like there was the lineup on the street to get in. Like Yeah, it was crazy. But all of these things that happened during the pandemic
Yeah.
just made us stronger and resilient to be able to deal with other things that, come our way. And just like lessons that we learned in our personal lives, we learned lessons for the business as well. Um, as we move through all of this. And
I think COVID was the most challenging part of it, and also it was the peak. It was like we launched a logistics company in the middle of COVID, which is Falcon Logistics, and that's how we did like delivery of our products across the province. We had to have two refrigerated trucks. One is regularly being used in Ottawa
yeah, just
to
back and
deliver
forth with
like
Ottawa.
every Ottawa on a Tuesday, and then we would deliver treats and we would deliver Farm Boy, and then the other truck is like running all across the province on like a busy like a
And we were
weekend and
doing
everything.
deliveries for other
And for other,
stores as well, other bakeries,
an
other.
example would be La Di Da sauces. We used to have their account. Like we're
Yes.
going
It
to
just
the
closed
base.
down.
Yeah,
Right.
Hey,
we had.
really?
I didn't know
Oh, I
that.
didn't know that.
They did.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that example of a company that we go to a Sobeys location, you supply them with your sauces, we
Right.
can go and deliver your sauces too along with your products. So
Yeah.
that was how the business concept of Falcon Logistics came to be in the middle of pandemic, which was amazing concept.
For sure. So today, if you had to say what Sugar Daddy's Bakery does, how would you summarize all of the services that you provide to Ontarians?
So today it's a little bit different because the one thing, as you probably know as well, Neha, is when you own your own business, the one thing you become good at is pivoting.
Yeah.
Constant every week it seems, and you think at the end of the week, oh, it's going to be stable for just a week. No, that Monday morning something else happens and you got to change. So
Yep.
what Sugar Daddies does now, we still have all of our grocery distribution. We still do home delivery. We still have our retail stores, one in Hamilton and Cambridge. What changes is the balance between them all. So where the pandemic, our home delivery was pretty much like 90% of the business. It's changed now to a very equal balance between the stores at the retail level and the grocery stores. So much so that we're actually launching a new grocery store in.
I think we launched it last month. It's just we start delivering in July, like in the next few days.
Ooh,
Um,
is it Sobeys in Brighton because I have diabetes Oscars waiting for that. Just a little nudge.
It's so when it comes to the Sobeys stores, each store manager decides whether or not they're going to have the product. So
yeah,
Yeah.
we to work on the Brighton
so his
Sobeys,
manager.
maybe bribe them with some Nanaimo bars or something. But starting in another 10 days,
Right.
the 9 Metro stores in Ontario
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys.
will
Thank
be
you.
carrying the Sugar Daddy's product. Yeah.
So I want to pause and I know you both don't have time to celebrate, both of you, but from
With
the
our
moment,
water.
with our water, cheers with my tea, my
Yeah.
echinacea tea. Cheers. Eye contact, guys. Eye contact. We gotta make eye contact. My brother always says that. He's like, make
It's
eye
true.
contact with cheers.
My
Um,
says it all the time. If you don't make eye contact, it's bad luck.
yeah, it's bad luck. Does he tell you what bad luck?
Are
No.
we allowed to say that right now?
I don't think we are. Let's just, because maybe towards the end of the live we can say that. But I just want to congratulate you because, I think it's very hard. Like as an online grocery store, I know this intimately. It is hard to survive in the food business. Like it is hard to survive, thrive, stay afloat, and also keep your energy and resilience up and keep your creative ideas coming. And I really want to celebrate both of you. You are genuine founders. So now it's my turn to tell the story.
Oh,
Um, SwitchGrocery was this main sponsor of the Low Carb Lifestyle Show, and this was about 2019? 2019 Low Carb Lifestyle Show. Okay, we're an online grocery store, which means that we don't manufacture products that we sell. We buy them from our suppliers and sell them to Canadians. So we're not really good at farmers markets and demos, which obviously David and Greg are pros. So we're at our booth, we're set up, and was it you? I think David, you walked up to me.
No, I think it was Greg and Greg's
Was it
mom.
Greg?
Yeah, Greg and Greg's mom.
Okay, so you want to play it up? So I'm here. Okay, I'm like at the booth.
You were with Oscar.
Yeah,
I was with Oscar. Yes, Oscar. I had diabetes. Okay, and then you come over. What did you say? You whispered.
Yeah, I said, I think you might need these.
If you're sampling,
the health inspector is going to want to see tongs.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like,
tongs. I can't believe we still have them.
We still have these tongs, and they went through the renovation and still made it. And since that day, you guys, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to come up to Switch and be like, hey, you're obviously fumbling. Here's some tongs. And I remember being so scared because you were like, the health inspector. I'm like, is there a health inspector here? Oh my gosh. And like my heart was racing, and you were just so sweet. And I've never forgotten that story because you just did that for me. You didn't even know me. And you were just like, hey, I'm here. Here you go. Oh my God. Oscar says he remembers. And you guys, we were like, tongs. Yes.
Yeah.
And they came home with us. And you don't know this. We hosted a lot of meetups after that. And these tongs always went with us to the meetups.
That's amazing.
So I'm going to have to bring this to Keto Ontario Fest because
I think you should.
Ontario Keto Fest.
And then we'll
It's mine now.
Friendship.
I love those tongs. Those tongs were probably the tongs at our very first
Low Carb Lifestyle. That's one of the very those we and it's like I remember the only thing I remember that day is like we're beside Cottage Springs, and the process was like because I kept asking for samples. Like Cottage Springs can give them samples. Like they're gonna be drunk after this. Like who cares? Like, well, give me some. That was
a fun day. And Oscar says, remember their lemon bars from that day, so good. And Keto Mom Canada says, I need to try all your food. I wish you guys were in Alberta. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to Greg and David, but maybe at the end of the year for Christmas, we can bring on some of their products into Switch for like the holidays and do a nice limited run across Canada. So I'm asking them for the first time on the show. So
with a lot of witnesses.
Yeah, we have a lot of witnesses. So we're on question 1 of 10 and we have 30 minutes left. We can do this.
Okay.
So this is an important question. What is different about Sugar Daddies Bakery? What do you think there's so many keto products. Like you go to the US, you go to Canada, there are a lot, but there's something special, obviously, about Sugar Daddies. And I was wondering if you can touch on what you think that is in talking to your customers.
I don't want to say different. I want to say we are highly focused on whole fooding. Like the reason why we have the restaurant after the bakery is that there is no restaurant out there that's highly focused on like sugar-free, gluten-free, keto. Like from our breakfast menu to dinner menu, like everything is sugar-free, gluten-free, and keto and low carb. We can say low carb. And it's primarily because our main focus is like the ingredients that we use in our meals. I think that's what makes us different, I would say, in that terminology.
I would say the same thing. The ingredients we're very, very picky on. And if it's not an ingredient that you would find in your cupboard, in your kitchen, then we don't want to.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a whole food ingredients. That's our main priority. When we think of a recipe or a meal to launch, it's always like, what's the component of that, and how do we make it a keto version that's 100% keto? It's not like you add a little bit of like starch in it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, because it's an experience for us. Like every time we go to a restaurant, we always ask, what's the substitute for fries? Because I can't have fries in keto. You can only have either salad or more tomatoes or whatever, but I don't want that. Like, you know what I mean? Like for us, it's like when you come to the store, I want you to feel and that the hardest decision that you will be making is to pick which meal would you have because everything is all keto.
We hear
Like,
that all the time, right? I don't know what
I don't know. Like I've never seen such an extensive menu that everything is keto. Like, can I like have everything? Like literally, like people will be like, "Can I have one of everything?"
And I think what's also important is not only just the keto, but we're clean keto.
Yeah.
In that our products are gluten free. Our entire facility is gluten free. We don't allow, like some keto products, they will allow gluten to come into the product. Um, Mainly because we want people that are following a keto lifestyle not to have to make those decisions. They know when they're buying a Sugar Daddy's product, right, that it's going to fit all of their macros.
And and to add to that is the integrity of the meal, the integrity of the ingredients being used. That's what we've known for from the beginning, right? There may have been a lot of definitions for keto on how people do it. They do it on a calorie based, elemental, or you can do like the carb. But for us, it has to be a sugar free and gluten free that makes it clean keto. That's the primary concept of it, and we stick to that for like we're going to 5 years in September, and it's still our our our, our pillars.
I still can't believe 5 years.
5 years in
September.
5 years. We're gonna celebrate 6 years. I'm so
Wow.
excited. We're a year older. Just saying. Like we're just so if there was a baby, there's 6 years and there's 5 years.
Yeah.
But bless you is because I sneezed. Thanks, Oscar. 2 questions. What about sugar alcohols? And if you can answer them fast, because I have so many, everyone wants to know these things. What about sugar alcohols, number 1? And 2, what's your favorite keto sweetener to use?
What are sugar alcohols?
What about sugar alcohols?
What about alcohols? We do use sugar alcohols. We also use stevia in some of our products.
Erythritol.
Yeah, erythritol being the sugar alcohol. Those are the only 2 that we use.
And only because they're the only ones that are allowed in Canada.
Yeah.
To be used.
There's a lot of because the scale that Sugar Daddies is baking on, and the integrity that we need, the highly scrutinized ingredients that we have when we're in wholesalers, even if our grams on the box is off by a little bit, that's a huge deal when you're in grocery stores, right? And so we can only have ingredients that are approved by Health Canada and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, which means that if we were to use monk fruit in our products, they would be pulled off the shelves and we would get in a lot of trouble for using monk fruit. So that's why a lot of people ask us when they come in, why don't you use monk fruit in your products? We're not allowed.
Commercially, you
we're
can't
not allowed.
use it. Yeah, no, not yet though.
Not yet. Monk fruit's allowed on standalone. So we sell Sweet Monk, which is a Canadian company out of Vancouver that makes Sweet Monk, and we carry that in our store. But we actually had an allulose product, and one of our competitors actually reached out to us and said, you need to get rid of that, because they were approached by Health Canada. So allulose is like a completely forbidden. People ask us about, Magic Spoon cereal and things like that. We really just can't carry that because it's, allulose is forbidden. So I appreciate you.
We've been inspected.
Yeah.
They just, if they see anything that's not allowed, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
We just don't want to. It doesn't mean that people can't use monk fruit from the bulk barn in their own baking at home, right? That's allowed, but commercially, we're not allowed to use it.
Yeah, and I think Amanda's asking, I wonder why. I have a friend at Health Canada, and they said that it's just going to take time. Like, it's just paperwork, and it'll take time. I have I have an interesting question about making at home versus buying. And so there's this debate about, and even during the pandemic, even SwitchGrocery saw this. So for us, we saw a huge spike in sales right when the pandemic happened. We're an online grocery store, right? People are just ordering in hordes. And then there was a huge baking culture too, if you remember. So I wanted to ask you this question of, there's always this debate, which is a healthy debate, which is, I can buy almond flour and coconut flour and these ingredients and make something at home, or I can buy Good D's mix from SwitchGrocery, which is like the pancakes, scones, like all of that, and then make that. Or I place an order from Sugar Daddies or go to a Sobeys Farm Boy and pick up or place an online order for something that's already made. And so I guess how do you see your customers navigating that spectrum of buying it all and making it, buying a pre-made mix versus buying ready to eat?
I would say it goes in sequence. I have noticed that some customers would start to bake their own with buying almond flour, like buying all of the ingredients, and they're not cheap. If you F up a recipe that doesn't taste as good,
Say fuck up a recipe. It's
you know what I
okay.
mean? Fuck up a recipe and it didn't turn out good. Like your $20 almond flour is gone.
Yeah.
So that I personally think it goes in phases. So that's the phase one. Phase two is that they see, let's say, goodies mix, and they will.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're really an adventurous baker, you would really do that,
Right.
and then if that becomes your staple, you don't have that hour, 2 hours a day to bake for yourself or a week, and then the last phase for me, I believe, is that Sugar Daddy treats or any other bakery treats because it's quicker. It's there. You grab and go. You're done. So that for me is the phase because I see a lot of no, not I see. I've experienced a lot of customers saying, "Oh my God, what do I do now with like 2 kilogram almond flour that I bought? I can't use them anymore because I suck at baking. Like I don't want to like waste them. You know what I mean? So that for me is what is the trend in terms of this niche is that they start making their own first until they fuck up like they give up and then they buy the not the instant one but like the easier one to make that has less
Yeah.
instruction. And lastly is like the convenience of like let me go and grab one for a quick fix and then you know what I mean. That for me is okay.
I think it's also with just our just lifestyle in general is very, very busy. And if you're going to be following, for whatever reason, like a diet or lifestyle that has restrictions in it, so whether you're diabetic or you're following a keto plan, because sorry, I'm distracted by this torrential downpour that's right in front of the windows here, but you have to make choices on where do you want to spend your time. And I think for myself, if I was in the kitchen and I had a chicken breast, I can make a chicken breast and a salad be a keto meal. Right? And it's easy for me to be able to have, chicken and a salad and eat that and I'm in keto. If I'm going to make cupcakes, right, or I'm going to make muffins, like that is a commitment. Like that is an entire commitment. I've got to, first of all, I got to have like the pieces that the cupcake goes into, right? What do you call those things?
He doesn't make
like liners, like muffin liners.
Like liner, right? You have to have those. House.
You need to cool them down. You have to like.
Right. You need. There's so many things that you need. And I don't have the patience to do that. I would have the patience to grill a steak on the barbecue or put some chicken or sausages or something, but not so much to make desserts.
Yeah.
And I can't make them as good as you.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah. I can't make them.
I haven't baked. Like I haven't baked for a while, honestly. Like because I would do an initial concept in the bakery for what I want for the summer.
Yeah. Right.
That will make like I haven't. Wow, and I hated baking. just to be
Right.
very and honest about it. Like I don't like baking at all, and I don't know why we have a bakery.
You're like, I hate this,
I
but
hate
sure, fine, I'll do it.
It's different
Um,
though. You have to bake at home versus
baker people.
you're baking like thousands of the same
Cookies.
product all the time, right?
We have a question from Lisa, which is delivery through Ontario or just Cambridge and Ottawa areas?
What was the question? Sorry.
Delivery.
It's
Oh, is delivery available? So delivery is available in a number of locations across Ontario. We recently had to put a pause on the delivery to Ottawa because the partner that we were using was turning the boxes upside down.
Probably like
got it.
Cupcakes were arriving upside
in
down.
multiple forms.
In multiple forms, yeah. And so when that happens, there's discipline on, the recipient side, but it's also very expensive for, us to reship all this stuff back out again. So,
That makes sense.
yeah, if you put your postal code in the top of the website, it will tell you whether we can deliver to your location or not. And if we don't deliver, you can call and we'll let you know when we're next in that area, whether we're going to Metro or Foodland, Sobeys or Farm Boy to drop off products.
So let's quickly I'm going to check this. So if someone wanted to place an online order, so actually I had a question for you. So would they go to home delivery and then put in the postal code?
Right at the very, very,
very
top.
top.
So we go to the very, very top.
There's
Oh, right there. Okay, cool, amazing. I'll put in like downtown and put K1.
Yeah,
My old.
I love this.
Great, we deliver you.
Said yes.
I know. Whenever I do this with our suppliers, they're like, Neha, why are you doing this? Okay, so let's talk through two questions. I wanted to know what your bestsellers were here, and then have you been surprised with what they are?
for the season.
Yeah.
Summer
What do people order in the summer?
anything fruity.
Anything fruity. Yep.
Ooh.
Like the tartlets, the fruit tartlets are
was
really
big,
popular.
yeah, we just launched.
Ooh, where do I go? Where do I find that?
Go to search bar on the far right.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, there. With tarts,
Tarts.
mixed berries, any keywords.
Tart should come up.
Tarts should do it.
Okay, cool. Ooh.
Which one? That one, the first one.
Ooh, give me. I'm just gonna add to cart.
So it's got like a shortbread crust around the bottom.
It has, yeah.
And then the custard and the fruit.
I love that. Thank you guys. I'm literally adding things right now because I'm just gonna place an order after this.
And
Ooh, banana.
There would be our s'mores bar. So
s'mores bar, yeah.
The s'mores bar, we actually call it Betty's s'mores bar. It's named after my grandmother, who used to take cookies, and she would, any cookies that were broken, she would, smush them all up. They become the base, and then she'd make this delicious concoction on top. So I
love this.
The first time I tasted our s'mores bar, it reminded me of her.
I love that. I want to see what else. Obviously, the lemon squares are amazing.
Yeah. The one that shocks me as being the most popular season after season is the Greg's chocolate caramel cupcake and the Boston cream cupcake. Those two are just staples that if we remove them, there's like people very upset if we.
Ooh, Boston cream.
Yeah, and you'll notice for all of our cupcakes, there's we want to make sure that you have an experience with every bite. So not only do you have topping that sits on top of the cupcake, but you also have the filling that through the center.
Okay, you guys keep talking. I have a coughing fit. I'll be back. 1 sec.
Right. Awesome.
What else? Banana pudding.
Banana
always
pudding.
been a top seller in my opinion. We can never.
We
don't pay for it. And chantilly cream. The concept of the banana pudding is the baker in New York.
Um, Starts with an F.
Not that, so they did, or they do banana pudding, vanilla wafer plus banana cream, um, eating banana fruit because uh, high in carbs, replacing
Banana
banana
X.
very the sugar add there just and it's been
Yeah. They sell out.
um
We just made it back because they were sold out.
oh, there's actually we're looking at. I love the
I'm
chicken
back.
curry.
Where do you
Patricia.
see that?
On the right,
Oh, over there.
Patricia Bruce, best restaurant ever. So nice to be able to go out and not. All right, yeah.
Here we
Thanks.
go.
There's a lot of comments. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, do you want to do the comments? I'm sorry. One sec.
No.
I'm
It's
back.
okay. We can see them now. We weren't able to see them. Um, and Linda says, "I love that you have a bakery." Yeah. So today, actually, at lunchtime, the number one thing that happens in Cambridge is people come in and they don't realize that it's a restaurant, right? They're just walking down the street and they come in, they don't realize. Um, so we've actually got some big signs now on the sidewalk that have photos of some of the food that you can get in the restaurant. So people are going to start to hear restaurant.
But did we already talk about the restaurant and your favorite from there?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. The restaurant was important because I'm coming there for.
You are.
Yes, I'm coming there on July 15th. So I wanted to ask you what I should order. And I sincerely apologize for my cough, everybody. I'm really sorry. Everyone's sick here. But I'm here.
I would say the ribs. If you're into beef ribs, order the beef. The beef. It's a big rib.
It's like a dinosaur bone.
It's big, and the experience with that is like it's a toasty, so it's a sandwich, but the slice of rib, and then you pull the bone off the meat, so you know that it's really tender, and it's most like 100% of the time when people order it, it's like they can finish it. A challenge, like you should finish that and get one free. So that's number one in my opinion. It's my favorite. The second would be the crispy chicken sandwich because it's the entire,
Interesting.
It's full breast.
it's full breast, and we fry it up in olive oil, making it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only oil we can use. Like we don't use any vegetable oil, so we fry that and crisp it up and serve it in like a big toasty. So
I love that you don't use vegetable oil. That's amazing.
I know, and it
does make it more expensive though.
It does.
Like
Yeah,
olive oil is expensive.
worth it.
I can't wait. Kathy says, Northern Keto Mama, the chicken Sammy or the ribs. She's going to be there. And then Keto Mom Canada said your chicken burger looks. And then Keto Fueled Infant says 100% order the new crispy chicken Sammy. Crispy chicken was amazing. So can I ask you, what is the hardest thing about running a restaurant that people would not guess?
Do you want to start? Or should I start? Okay, I'll start.
There's so many. I don't know where to start.
For me, actually, the rest of the work I enjoy. I really enjoy like being on my feet, doing the work, doing the physical work. What the most challenging for me is the creative part of it. To think outside the box and make sure that there's always a wow factor in every meal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, our meal alone is already sugar free, gluten free, and keto. I don't want people to think that by the looks of it, that it's a sugar free keto meal. You know what I mean? Like, they would say, like, that's a sugar free keto. That's a keto meal. Like, that's in my head is the challenge every time I create a recipe or a menu or like a special is for people to get that wow factor and say, I can never believe that this is a keto meal, and to up that game every single season is the most challenging part for me, because I have to stay number one on trends with what people eat, not just keto but non-keto, and how do you ketify that specific meal is the biggest challenge. And I don't think people realize how challenging it is to create a concept out of a non-keto meal and create that, twist that in full 180, and like, this is a keto meal that you can enjoy. um, so that for me is the most challenging part of running a restaurant, also the bakery, in the creative side of it, making sure that you are on trends and making sure that every like you have something new to create. So
Mhm.
I enjoy that too, but it's for me, it's like that's what keeps me up all night. It's like, what do I make? Like, I'm already thinking of fall. Like, what do I make for fall? Like, you know what I mean? So that for me is the most challenging.
I think the hardest part for me, the fact that I'm extroverted, and if I had the choice, I would be at the front counter. I would be talking to the customers, getting opening till close. That's the part that I like the most about the bakery. The reality is, I have a full time job like David. And so the only time that I have to do any paperwork or anything to do with the bakery at all is the evening and the weekend. So I have to balance, I have accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll, ordering, all of that with, oh,
Talking
wow,
to me.
customers in the store. Let's go out and say hi to them.
This
Right?
is fun, Neha.
Um,
It's not a work.
so, so that's hard because it's like a kid, right? The kid that on their birthday they have presents that they want to open, but the parents spread the presents out over the day, right? That's how I feel sometimes. Is there's just so much stimulation that I want to have with the bakery, but I have to train myself that I need to focus on some other areas. Um,
It's a lot of work.
it is a lot of work. It's a lot of it's a lot of work in terms of the hours that you put in, but it's also mentally challenging as well. Something simple as someone that comes into the bakery has no idea that it's gluten free, no idea that it's sugar free. They come in and then they'll leave you like a review or something.
Oh,
they'll leave
that
you
one, yeah.
they'll leave you a review, and you're like, I know this person has no idea the concept that
You know
they
what?
or
That's one of the things that I've learned throughout the years, is not to get really hurt by the reviews. Food is an acquired taste. Like, you cannot please everyone. That's what I learned. Like, you can try so hard to make it as perfect as you could, but there's definitely one person that will never like it, and it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to have a 1 star, 2 star review because they thought it's full of sugar and they had a sugar free, and I don't know how else we could market the sugar free in our store on our signs, and they
we
still
actually
don't see
we,
it.
we have our friend Linda, who's online here, gave us the idea with I think she uses a silhouette machine,
Mm.
and so we ordered like a cricket, and we actually have little signs now that are on the bakery display that says sugar free, gluten free, keto, right?
Right.
Right.
So that people know that if they've just walked in from the street, uh, out for a stroll, they know exactly what it is that
Yeah.
they're buying.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I try my best not to take reviews seriously. I sent an email out over the weekend to our VIP customers, and it was on Canada Day, and it was what being an immigrant, moving here when I was 13 years old, what it meant to me. I had an Indian accent. People made fun of me, but a lot of people didn't and took me under their wing and taught me hockey and taught me basketball. And it was hard putting myself out there, but I did get 3 responses. Um, Greg, they were so mean. Like, it was like, one was get out of this country,
Well,
actually. So, and then another one was something like, um, something like, you have such a sob story and like I have a bigger sob story and I don't have time for sob, like something like that. And it was really difficult. Of course, I got like pretty much 45, 50 emails that were from kind customers, and it's so kind. And usually you would think it doesn't get to you, but it really got to me. Like it was like I was in the middle of the reno and everything, and Brian, my partner and husband, he just took care of it. He was like, I'm gonna just say, hey, you signed up for the list, no problem. You're off the list, no problem, you know. But it's hard. But you're right. Like you
Yeah.
really need to get a thick skin. You really
You
have
can
to.
never make anyone happy. There will always one. As you know, we're like we focus on what we do
Yeah,
and good and be better at it, and like not let comments like ruin your day because we have one focus, we have one job to make. We have, you know what I
right.
mean? Don't forget, the next day it's a
Yeah,
bad, and it's all part of a cycle. And all we have to do is to move on from a bad experience and then do it again. You know what I mean? It's a lot of failures. It's a lot of challenges. We go through that, and at some point we become very oblivious about stuff. Like, are we really that good? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you go through that emotional roller coaster that you don't know sometimes how to feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
yeah,
like they go into a state of oblivion that when people congratulate you, you don't feel, you don't like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah, because like, okay, well, it's just my work. Like, I just don't feel like I'm doing a good job because you are in a constant, like, you know what I mean? Like, you constant goal of like aiming for
for sure.
success. Yeah.
I love the question from Pam.
Yes.
Are you both chefs, or is one person a chef and the other a baker? So David actually loves cooking,
Not baking.
not baking.
No.
So the bakery came first, and now he gets to have his passion
Just cooking.
with the cooking and the food side of things. So if you enjoy our baking, you're going to be blown away by the food.
Love it.
Myself, I do the admin side of the business, so it's a very good balance.
Balance.
Yeah.
And I
You guys
would say,
complement each other very well.
yeah, and I would say, so I always wanted to become a chef. It's for me. It's like when it's an intimidation for me to say like there's a lot of good chefs and cooks out there. I can never make it. Like that's why I'm so scared of like baking. I'm so scared of cooking. I will just cook at home because that's the only thing I feel like I'm safe and I can be myself. You know what I mean? And then the bakery came, and then I was like, this is my avenue and platform to do what I really love. And if nobody does sugar free, gluten free, and keto, I will do it. And I'm the only one doing
Well, like the seafood boils that you do, like people come for the seafood boils because they're so good. And a lot of the people that come aren't even
it. I'm
keto
not
or
even.
gluten free or anything. They just love what you do with your boils.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah,
About that.
intimidation got in my head, and I was like, now I will just create my path, my own safe place, and I'll start create my own stuff. So
Amazing. Thank you for asking that, Pam. That was a really good question. And I didn't have that on my list. So when I saw that, I had to bring it up. I'm going to make an exception and go over the hour because I know Instagram cuts us off after an hour. So what will happen is when I try to post the video to Instagram, it won't work. So what I'm going to do is, but I'll keep the live going because we just got a question about the keto conference, which I really want to get to next. And if anybody wants to watch the replay, I will post it tomorrow on, Sugar Daddy's page and our page through tomorrow, but it won't allow me to post it tonight. So let's keep going. Let's talk about the fest. Keto Ontario Fest, Ontario Keto Fest. But before that, Victoria, my kids took me for my 50th birthday dinner to your restaurant. They all loved it. The atmosphere is amazing and the food is delicious.
thank you.
It's really sweet.
that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so excited to come and to your restaurant. So let's talk about the keto conference. What is what is Ontario Keto Fest? The date, what's happening, who's coming? We're coming.
Okay. can I just say how it all started? So Son to my heart and Shalini, they kind of like I think put in their stories of like, oh, we should do a summer meetup. That's how it all started. And I saw it. I was like, oh, I was like, just comment. We should host this. And that's how it all began. It's from a tiny meetup, and then now it became like, a big huge fest with vendors, with like sponsors, and all that jazz, with programs in place. So it's happening on July 15th. So the three of us and Greg, obviously, we work with such an amazing group. Yes, Greg.
I'm part of it.
You're part of it. You're part of it. So on the 15th, it starts at 10. There's a program, and it ends at 3. But then people can come in anytime when the store opens at 8. We'll have vendors on site. We will have samples. We have it's a huge. I would say it's a huge event because we invited some of the best keto bakeries in Ontario. We're talking about Keto Librium with their meals. We're talking about Keto Cookie Co. with her cookies, and some Keto Nut with her fat bombs.
I think it gives an opportunity for people that have questions about a keto lifestyle, or they're diabetic and they want to know about low carb eating. You have all of the, I'm going to call them professionals, but like all of the people that are very knowledgeable in the same roof, right? You're
Correct.
able to talk to them, an intimate conversation.
So there will be a panel, question and answers. We'll have 3 panelists. We have Mark, Kathy, and Keto Toronto.
Love that.
Yeah, so it will be a panel. We'll have prizes. We'll have games. They have a full pack program prepared by Sonia Lini just for that day. Plus, of course, be able to enjoy the Sugar Daddy's summer menu with our desserts line and also our meals line. I don't know, I'm scared, but I'm really excited for that day because I know it's going to be a big event. But we are hoping it to be our yearly thing because there's no keto fest. There's no, from the low carb lifestyle show, there was like a great Canadian keto, but there's nothing afterwards, right?
So the idea is that we're doing it at Sugar Daddies Bakery, for the initial this year, and then depending on how that goes, we'll look at doing it more frequently and different locations, across Ontario. So the question is, it says sold out on the website. The VIP is sold out, but the general admission is still available. You can purchase tickets on sugardaddiesbakery.ca and click on Keto Fest Ontario, and the $5 that you spend on your ticket is available on the day of for $5 towards any product when you're at Sugar Daddies Bakery.
Yeah. And I'll try. So we're still trying to work out the logistics, but for people who are outside of Ontario, we're going to try to broadcast the interview on the SwitchGrocery and Sugar Daddy's channels. We're just working that out and how we can do that, so you can at least watch that.
We practiced tonight.
Practicing tonight. Restream.
Yeah. So the $5 is basically credit towards the VIP that was sold out is basically the show. The $20 also credit, which
includes like food and
the VIP tickets got sold out in 2 hours. When you purchase that VIP, you got a seat, you get to enjoy the menu, the show, program itself, you get a tote bag full of goodies from our sponsors. That's basically it. And if you have a general ad ticket, it means that you could come in anytime the store is open, and you can now check out the vendors, and you get a $5 credit towards it.
10 o'clock.
4.
10 until 4. You'll be able to come in and meet a lot of the vendors from across Ontario, sample some of the products.
I'm really excited.
I'm really excited about it.
I'm really excited.
I'm nervous. I'm excited, but
I think we need new outfits. Should we get new outfits?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excited about it because I think it's about time that our small community of keto come together to like celebrate the lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like it's about time to be united and to share, because we all share the same goals and and the same um you know what do you call it, the same goals and same vision, and it's just being in one place under one roof. Like it speaks a lot of volume in
Mhm.
terms of like
And it's
putting the
good for
word out there.
networking, right? One of the good things when you're going through, really hardcore keto, and for whatever the reason is that you're doing it, it's really nice to be able to have a network of people that you can trust and ask questions and
You share the same interest.
rely on, because there's a lot of information on the internet, and there's different reasons why certain things are written on the internet, whether it's from a marketing perspective. So it's nice to be able to ask the questions and be able to trust some of the answers that you get.
1,000%. And this is not going to be our last one because we talked that we want to do a meetup together in the fall. And so I'm putting it out there in the universe because it's going to happen.
Do it. Do it.
And it'll be I'm just universe, SwitchGrocery X Sugar Daddies Bakery meetup, which I'd be so excited about. And somebody else asked, okay, so are you able to still listen to the talks if you're not a VIP? So we will try to broadcast them on Instagram and Facebook, which we'll work out together, because I think that's important. Unfortunately, with these meetups, there's always, and pardon me if I'm speaking for you, but there's always just space constraints. So
capacity constraints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to keep on because somebody said that the voice gets shoddy. But
it's where your microphone goes down.
Sorry guys, I really have a bad cough. It's having a toddler in your house who gives you a summer cough. What even is a summer cough, It's just like, what is this? But anyway, it's okay. I'm back in my house. That's all that matters. Thank you so much. So I think it's time to wrap this up. Hack My Keto, Mark is going to be one of the panelists. He can't wait to see everybody. Northern Keto Mama says so many people have followed on my journey will be there. I'm so pumped. So I just want to thank both of you for taking the time out of your very busy schedules tonight to spend some time with us. And I'm really looking forward to seeing whoever can come on July 15th or can watch live. And we look forward to placing our orders with Sugar Daddies Bakery right after this live.
Thank you. We should do this again.
Yes, but with alcohol and when I'm not sick.
Yeah, we should do that.
That would be really fun, because then as the hour goes on, I think we'd all get a lot more fun.
Yeah, we should do shots. Like if you can't, like shot, you'll answer it or you'll take a shot.
Yeah.
I like that. Like a James Corden.
Oh goodness.
And I just want to thank Keto My Heart Canada on Instagram, and I also want to thank Shalini Keto Babe Life on Instagram, because they've been really instrumental in putting everything together. So thank you so much.
Good.
And just so much love to Jacqueline, Lisa. I know Lori Olson's still here. Lisa McGeechee, Pam. Thank you guys so much. Victoria, Linda. Thank you guys so much for joining this live. Have a great night. Lots of love. Bye.
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 Bye.